In case you missed it, here's Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.
Well, if you love dogs and you love movies, well, this could be absolutely perfect for you.
The emotional support animal company, Petable, is looking to pay someone $1,000 to watch 6 feel-good dog movies and then write a review. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be able to do it based on the movies that they want you to watch because I would be bawling my eyes out.
Well, that could be your review.
No, well,
Keep tissues handy.
So here's the movie list. Marley and Me, A Dog's Journey, Because of Winn-Dixie, 8 Below, Lady and the Tramp, The Call of the Wild. Did I ever tell you my 8 Below story? I'll have to tell you afterwards. But after you watch all these movies, you have to write a 1,000-word review and rank each movie so it can be published on their blog. And the main requirement is just that you much love dogs. But if you love dogs, you're not going to want to watch like half these movies because they're too sad.
Now, if this sounds like something you're interested in, you can fill out for the job application at petable.com. I checked it out. Doesn't seem like it's a U.S. thing either. It seems like it's open to anyone. It's open until March the 7th. Better stock up on some extra tissue now.
Yeah, so when 8 Below came out, one of my friends got me the movie. And because she was like, oh, it's Huskies. And then I think her dad watched it and she walked in and he was like bawling. And she's like, what is wrong? He's like, you can't give this movie to Cheryl. It is way too sad. And I've watched it once and I've never watched it again because I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, then you add in Marley and Me on top of it too. It's like, yeah. You know, when you stocked up on toilet paper because of the pandemic, you might have to stock up on tissue for all these films.
Good news is good news.
I have good news on good news on good news.
Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to some good news.
That's what I got for y'all today.
Okay, so what's the good news?
And the good news is...
Let's hear it.
All right, well, today's first good news story, not all heroes wear capes. Check out what this guy did in Colorado. He wanted to support his local breweries after the lockdown, so he set a goal to have one beer at 30 breweries in 30 days. But then he finished in a week, so he decided to keep going. In the last 18 months, he's visited every brewery in Colorado, all 469 of them.
Basically just spent 18 months hitting every Colorado brewery and brewery tap room in the state. Goal was to support every Colorado brewery as they were coming out of the shutdowns, and so that was the beginning of the quest. Probably did 3,000 beers. That's crazy when you think about it. Got one heck of a liver, let's just say that.
So he was definitely having more than one beer.
Wow. One must sample the local wares.
Exactly. But I love that he was supposed to do a beer a day for 30 days and it ended up being done in a week.
And he just kept on going.
For our second good news story, a guy up in Alaska by the name of Billy Ray graduated from Anchorage High School back in 1961. But here's the thing. When he graduated, I can't believe they did this. They put a stamp on his diploma that said he only met the minimum requirements to graduate. Why would you do that? Why? Well, as a result, Billy was always really ashamed of his diploma, but his granddaughter fixed it. She reached out to his high school, and the current principal put together a new diploma for him for his 80th birthday.
And they even had a little grad ceremony for him.
I just knew at some point I would have to speak up for my grandpa. I didn't know where to start, but I just knew I had to be that squeaky wheel for him.
If we can right a wrong from way back when, we might as well do it.
Next thing I know, we're pulling up in the school parking lot. I said, what is this? And I stepped inside and oh man, I could have fainted.
What a great moment. There's today's good news.
Yum, science. It's not rocket science.
Check it out, I blinded us with science.
Well, you've definitely heard the old wives' tale about having a glass of warm milk before bed to help you sleep. Well, it turns out it's not just an old wives' tale, and milk doesn't even have to be necessarily warm. According to a group of scientists, some of the proteins found in milk suppress nerve signals, slow brain activity, and can cause drowsiness. Not only does milk make you sleepy, it can also help alleviate tension, reduce stress, foster calm. This is all according to a new report.
So what you're saying is maybe having a giant bowl of cereal with lots of milk first thing in the morning for breakfast might not be the best idea.
Sounds like it might be a better late night snack.
Yeah. Hey, scientists recently uncovered the remains of several extinct animals, including a woolly mammoth, a woolly rhinoceros, and a wolf in Devon, just in southwest England. Experts say the findings, estimated to be from the last ice age around 30 to 60,000 years ago, are an exceptional discovery that really shed some light on the animals that roamed early Britain. So the well-preserved samples include a tusk, a molar tooth, and other bones of a woolly mammoth, and the incomplete skull and lower jaw of a woolly rhinoceros.
Wow, how cool.
I've ever heard of a woolly rhinoceros.
You don't want to run into one.
No, I probably not. But they also say they found a virtually complete wolf skeleton and partial remains of other animals like a hyena, a horse, and a red fox.
And speaking of reptiles, researchers found the fossils of an ancient freshwater crocodile from 95 million years ago. And the last thing it ate was a baby dinosaur, because they were able to find those bones inside of his bones.
It hadn't been digested yet.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, that's crazy. In health news, doctors think they have cured a woman of HIV for the first time ever.
Wow.
So she is the fourth person to be cured using stem cells. The other three, though, were men. And a report found that there were more organ transplants last year than ever before. Over 41,000 were done in 2021.
And in pet news, this might seem obvious, but it had never really been proven. A study has shown that dogs can recognize their owners just from the sound of their voice. So if Sadie's listening right now, if the radio's on, good girl, get off the couch. They can tell you that you're talking compared to someone else. They can make that differentiate.
I wonder if that's why my dog loves my sister so much, because we do have similar voices.
He probably can't tell who is who.
He's just always so excited if I'm at their house and she comes home. He loses his mind.
Or maybe it's just that she gives him treats. He's just like, oh, that's the treat lady. All right, that's Last Week in Science. Well, are you into your first, maybe second coffee of the morning? Well, you're doing some good things, because a new study says there's a lot of benefits to drinking coffee.
Like it adds years to your life. Apparently, drinking coffee lowers the risk of death from a variety of common afflictions, including diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and cancer, and an 18% decrease in mortality for those who drink 2 to 3 cups a day.
Improves test performance and alertness just by its smell. My son-in-law swears by this, because he doesn't drink as much anymore. When I say drink, he'll make a coffee, drink a little bit of it, but it's more about the smell of it. And then I'll find cups of coffee around the house.
Yeah, so they did this study where they had students take a test in a room that had the smell of coffee sort of piped in, and then a group of students where there was no extra smell of coffee. And the ones that had the smell of coffee in the test room did better. Now, is that because it puts them in the same mind of when they were studying?
Maybe.
Right? Because a lot of times you're probably drinking coffee to stay awake.
Connection of the two. It also burns fat, too. That's another big thing. Just 1 cup can activate our brown fat. Unlike more traditional white fat, brown fat actually burns calories, promotes weight loss.
If you're into baking, you know this one. Coffee can help make desserts taste sweeter. That's because after drinking a single cup of coffee, sweets taste that much sweeter, and the bitter sensation isn't as intense. So I know a lot of times if you're baking with chocolate, you want to intensify the chocolate flavor. You're supposed to put in a little bit of coffee, like cold brewed coffee.
And I've played hockey with guys that would swear by drinking a cup of black coffee before they played.
I guess it's kind of like an energy drink, if you think about it.
Just maybe not quite as much of a jolt that you're getting from the energy drink, as well as all those other things that might be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they say it can help when it comes to sports.
Yeah, if you're participating in athletics. So maybe before your next workout, you might want to take a sip of coffee.
Well, we've got your dinner planned. You're going to have chili with tortillas tonight.
That's because it is chili day and tortilla chip day today. So might as well merge the two. And wasn't yesterday just margarita day too?
Why not?
Wash it down with the margarita.
It's almost Friday.
So someone recently asked people to rank the best topping to put on chili. Tortilla chips ranked pretty high on the list, but the top 5 were cheese, crackers.
Crackers? Like just regular, like out of the sleeve crackers? No.
Cornbread.
I could see that.
On the top, though, I'm more like on the side and then like dip it in.
Or toast, maybe.
Sour cream. Makes sense. And tortilla chips. Onions, hot sauce, and avocado also made the top 10.
95% of people say they like or love chili. 4% don't like it. 1% dislike it enough to use the word hate. They actually hate chili.
And the poll also looked at the most popular ways to eat chili. In a bowl got the most votes. how else are you going to eat it?
You can't eat it on a plate. It's messy.
Now, here's the thing, though. The other options, 12% they prefer it on a hot dog, like a chili dog. 9% said in a bag of Fritos. I've heard of that Frito pie, they call it, right? You like cut open the bag, you dump the chili in. It seems a little messy to me. And 8% said chili fries is their favorite way to eat.
And there may be a few in the top 10 you've never tried. On rice, ranked 6.
Oh.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
On a baked potato. On garlic bread, on spaghetti. I don't know about that.
On pasta. Well, why not?
Different. Mixed together with mac and cheese. And 2% say the best way to eat chili is on a sloppy joe.
Do they just think chili is a sloppy joe?
Yeah, it pretty much is, isn't it, when you think about it? It's
with more stuff in it, like
pretty,
beans
yeah,
and...
pretty similar.
No, and everyone has their own way of making chili too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you put it... I don't put a ton of vegetables in. I put a lot of beans.
Beans, meat, brown.
Tomatoes.
Tomato stuff, like...
Canned tomatoes, and then I squish them up.
I use crushed tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like formed
I
tomatoes.
like the chunks of it, so I don't... I usually put in whole tomatoes, and then I squish them myself into smaller bits.
The best way, though...
I also put baked beans in my chili. Gives it a little creaminess.
Oh, I do kidney beans, and then usually tomato beans, and one either molasses or maple... syrup beans.
Yeah, because it gives you that little sweetness to it.
Then chips, either scoops we'll have on the side, or the hint of lime. I love that with chili.
Oh,
and scoop them out that way.
Nice.
Celebrate. We've got dinner planned for you tonight. Now you know what you're making.
Well, I've got good news.
And now it's time to put some good in your morning.
This sounds too good to pass up.
Well, we knew this was going to happen the other day with it being 2/2/22, and a couple in Colorado got married at that on that date at 2:22 p.m. And they certainly weren't the only ones. Very popular thing to do.
2/22/22 at 2:22. I'm a bit of a numbers geek, and the palindrome of the day was just kind of what caught my eye. We were really hoping for in the 40s or 50s. It would be cool for it to be 2 or 22 or -2. My officiant would disagree with that.
Welcome. On this happiest and coldest of days.
Forever and always, I love you.
So that couple decided to get married at the last minute. They were already sort of planning in the stages of it, but saw those dates and the way it came together, and we're like, nope, we're getting it done. And they got it done in 24 hours.
Oh my gosh. Like the day before, like, hey, so you know what tomorrow is?
Well, that's why he was hoping the temperature might have been, 22 or minus.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. Hey, in our other good news story today, it's got a country connection. Brantley Gilbert recently invited a Make-A-Wish girl to come and hang out with him and his band at a rehearsal. It all started with a TikTok video that she posted after her heart transplant. And in it, she talked about how she found comfort in his music and that it helped her through the procedure. And she mentioned that it was her dream to meet him. Well, the clip went viral, and the two of them did get to meet.
Hey, Brantley Gilbert. My name is Lyrics, and my dream has always been to meet you. You helped me through my heart transplant, and I listened to you all the way through. And it went viral, and in less than a day, we got him to respond.
Hey, Lyrics, it's Brantley Gilbert here. Got your TikTok. I gotta say, I'm so humbled that you want to meet me. So here's the deal. It's going to be a while until we post some shows. So in the meantime, hopefully we can work something out on top of the show. But we're going to reach out to you, let you pick any show, anywhere, anytime, and you come see us.
He's a really nice guy. He's funny. His band's awesome.
He's just down to earth, isn't he?
Yeah.
They're all just down to earth people.
Wow, what a cool story. So as you heard him say, any show, anywhere, anytime. So if she decided, I've always wanted to go to California or go to Florida or something, right?
But I also love that he was like, we're not going on tour for a little while. Like we're working on something right now. So invited her to a rehearsal instead.
That's
to hang
fantastic.
Out with them.
There's today's good news.
It's real bad.
Well, it's pretty bad for this fourth grader because someone stole his science project.
His name is Gabriel, and he's actually the reigning champion of his school's science fair. He's really into it. is always working on, what he's going to do for next year's project. And this year, he had come up with this really cool invention, a solar oven that could bake cupcakes. So he's been developing the oven for weeks. He's been creating it and, refining it. So he created it from half of a globe, and it was all insulated. And this past Sunday, he was running some final tests because it was due on Tuesday. So he set the oven up in their driveway in the sun to heat up when it was stolen. Now, luckily, the family has some security cameras, one of those doorbell cameras, so they caught it all on tape. And you can see a car pulls up and an older woman climbs out, grabs the invention, and drives away.
We needed direct sunlight, so we did move it a little too close to the road. I was a little astonished that it was gone. We drove around a little bit. I was hoping that maybe I could find who took it.
It would have been a guaranteed first person.
I don't know.
So good.
It was pretty cool. Please return it and join us for a cupcake party.
So I've got to assume that person thought, oh, they're putting this out to the garbage, but it wasn't at the curb.
No, but I was watching the video of it, and it's pretty close to it's not on the curb, but it's at the end of the driveway, a couple feet from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously this person thought it was something for the taking, but I don't know about you. If I see something, I would pull up and look at it and be like, well, what is this? Because, it's a homemade contraption with solar panels. So you would assume, okay, this isn't necessarily, what are you going to plug this into? What is this? And just leave it behind if you can't figure it out.
Do you have any plans this weekend? Any big plans? Or do you get excited when plans get canceled? Apparently, the majority are happy when that happens.
Yeah, apparently 71% of us say they actually look forward to plans being canceled so they can just stay in instead. And 75% of people say there's nothing better than having no plans for the weekend. And just to be clear, this isn't like an old survey that was done in the middle of the pandemic or beforehand. This was done just earlier this month. So even after all the lockdowns and different things going on, people are still enjoying their time at home.
Now, staying at home doesn't mean staying by yourself. 70% of people agreed that nights in with friends are, quote, much needed therapy sessions. I'd agree with that. And a casual night with friends should include things like wine, maybe some sports, and some pizza.
Yeah, so just invite some friends over. So not necessarily plans, but just be like, come over, wear your sweats, and do different things. Apparently going for a walk got the most votes for their part of their favorite weekend activities, followed by reading a book from start to finish, sleeping in, binge watching TV, playing a board game, watching movies, playing video games, and cleaning.
Well, there is a sense of accomplishment when you clean. You wouldn't think cleaning would make the list, but boy, you feel better when it's done.
Oh man, after you finish doing a deep clean of the house, you look around and you just feel like stress, like there's a weight off your shoulders almost.
Mm-hmm. I know when we last time visited the grandkids and actually kind of coerced them into cleaning their rooms, and I helped a little bit. And I said, now, doesn't that feel better? My granddaughter was just like, yeah. And about a week later, I said, how's your room? Oh, not good. She's 5, so doesn't take long before things get scattered once again. But you do feel better in that moment when things are cleaned up, right?
I got to tell you, though, I do so much cleaning when I'm working out. Because I end up lying on the floor and you get a different angle of things in your house and you're like, oh, wow, that's dusty under there. And next thing you know, I pause, I got the Swiffer and I'm Swiffering under chairs.
Why do I have visions of you doing lunges as you're sweeping and doing things like that? Whatever your plans are this weekend, we hope it's a good one.
You've been listening to Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.